Hey guys, Claire here, and in today's video, we're going to talk about all things Harry and Meghan. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex graces the front cover of the Polo Lifestyle magazine, specifically the May 2024 edition, entitled The Duke and Duchess Sparkle in Palm Beach at Sentebale Polo Match. How beautiful does that cover photo look? This month's edition has exclusive photos of the Sentebale Polo match, has photos of Harry and Meghan with friends, Nacho, Delphina, Serena Williams. And one of my favorite things from this edition was this snippet right here. And it says, they provided the sparkle and chemistry the world has grown to not only love, but to expect from the modern royal couple. After 6 years of marriage, headlines, and a transatlantic relocation for security purposes, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex can wow the people around them with a glance or moment of tenderness. And if you're interested in checking out the Polo Lifestyle magazine, I will try my best to remember to leave the link in the description below. Highly recommend you check it out. The Invictus Games Foundation has officially announced the 2 names of the host cities that have made the shortlist for the 2027 Games. And of course, it's Washington, D.C. and Birmingham, UK. The official Twitter page for the Invictus Games Foundation also conducted a poll, and of the over 6,000 votes, Washington, D.C. got an astounding 88% of the votes. Now, personally, I vote for the U.S. because it's a very short car ride for me, and I will be able to be there and take in the festivities. But also, there's so many reasons why taking the games to the UK is just going to be a nightmare. First of all, the negativity that will come from the UK press, the pettiness from the royal family, the insanity of the royal fans on social media. Nobody wants to deal with that. For the Invictus Games, we want the focus to be on supporting our veterans, watching them in competition, cheering them on, having a good old time. We want positivity. Also, last year, there was an article from CNN talking about Britain's second largest city effectively declares itself bankrupt amid a $950 million equal play claim. Just days ago, May 1st, 2024, why Britain's towns and cities are going bust. Birmingham city centre is thronged by empty lots with unfinished and unstarted building projects. And soon after the announcement of the UK being shortlisted for potentially hosting the 2027 Games, the UK tabloids have already started with their negative nonsense, right? It's only going to be worse. No, thank you. Let them keep their negativity. Let's bring it to DC, fingers crossed, and have a good old time. And in a stark difference to the UK tabloids' negative drivel, you're having institutions within the US that are so positive and rooting for the games to be hosted in DC. I'm telling you, like, there's a difference. Over here, we're positive. We're making it all about the veterans, the UK tabloids, and the royal fans, and the royal institution. It's a no contest. The Events DC president and CEO said it is an incredible honor for Washington, D.C. to be selected as a finalist for the 2027 Invictus Games. As the culture capital, Washington, D.C. is a diverse and vibrant community that welcomes meaningful competitive sports that honor our veterans. We are a world-class city united by sports and a top-tier destination, which makes us ideal to host the 2027 Invictus Games. Hear, hear, Angie. And not just that, the U.S. Army ARCP stopped by under the Invictus Games Foundation Twitter page to root for DC. So yeah, hashtag let's go, hashtag DC, hashtag bring it here. One of the comments on Twitter also said, for my dad, nephew, and me, I hope it's in the UK, but for their peace, I'm assuming she means Harry and Meghan, for their peace and against media, I hope it's USA. And to top off the Invictus Games conversation, let's not forget that Prince Harry is scheduled to be in the UK for the May 7th 10-year anniversary event. And if you're interested in checking out the Invictus Games Foundation, all of their posts, and potentially the link to live stream the upcoming May 7th event, here are the different platforms that they are on, and you can check it out. In our last video, we talked about that lie from royal commentator Angela Levin about Mike Tyndall being given a high position, and that man's not even a veteran. But anyway, I digress. Apparently, there have been people who have been checking on GBN and I believe LBC to see if links to those articles are still there. And it looks like they've been going through and deleting them. I think some of the videos are still up, but some of the articles are being removed. So, yeah. The UK press has been in a tizzy over the Duchess of Sussex's quote-unquote snub. Someone said in the comments that it is very likely that on the way to Nigeria, you have to do a layover in the UK, and you never know, Meghan may be there but not go to the event that Prince Harry is attending, or maybe she might pop up. Who knows? But to see everyone from GB News, Talk TV, Good Morning Britain, having these conversations, acting like they don't know why Meghan doesn't want to have anything to do with that environment. It's unbelievable. The audacity and the way that some of these people, like Russell Myers and a lot of these tabloid writers and royal commentators, are attempting to rewrite history as if we didn't watch her experience it in real time over the past few years, has been hilarious. What's even more hilarious is a lot of young folk on social media platforms clocking the tea and calling them out on it.
Imagine falling in love with a prince, getting married, and then the country that that prince is from effectively runs you out of their borders, says that you never gave birth to your two beautiful children, criticize everything that you do with every breath that you take, talk about you sending jams to 50 of your friends for what has been weeks now, and then them looking into whether or not you are in fact 43% Nigeria due to the announcement of a trip that you're going on, and then that same place then questions why you're not going to show up for an event. Are you guys okay? And I'm not even playing about that 43% Nigerian part. Announced that they were having a trip to Nigeria in May, and all of a sudden everyone's asking like, where's she from? What's her ancestry? As if the transatlantic slave trade wasn't a thing. I need you guys to use some critical thinking skills. Do you know what I mean? The absolute audacity for the royal press, or whatever you want to call them, to say that she should have like given them a heads up about her travel plans. Why? Why would she do that? It's literally unsafe for her. And for people who are like, it's not unsafe, she's so dramatic. It actually is. Because some of you deranged individuals online could quite literally be a security risk in real life. Meghan Markle has not uttered a single word from her mouth publicly to the press or on her social media for months. Yet, headlines like this about them trying to one-up the royal family are all over the front pages. It's delusional. I don't know how else to say this. Barring a funeral, Meghan Markle is never stepping foot into the UK. It's simply not happening. She does not like you guys. You guys don't like her. So how about we just stop talking about Meghan Markle? Oh no, wait, we can't, because that's how the British press is making their money. Her impact.
Her impact, indeed. Soon after the announcement of Harry and Meghan's upcoming trip to Nigeria, Meghan, Prince Harry, and Invictus Games were all top trending subjects in Nigeria.
Prince Harry will be back in the UK next week to mark the 10th anniversary of the Invictus Games. Meghan is not expected to join him on the trip. Do we have any indication of whether there'll be time for a meeting between the King and his son?
Well, I think the King will make time. I know there's been speculation in the media that he's not going to have time. His diary is too busy, but let's not forget, you mentioned when he came back in February. I mean, on that occasion, the King actually said, you know, darling boy, don't hurry back. Let me get to Sandringham, come and see me there. But Harry was absolutely adamant. I think he was so shocked to hear that his father had been diagnosed with cancer that he wanted to come over immediately.
Yeah, I was surprised at those reports. I mean, yeah, the King is busy. He's got a packed diary, but that doesn't mean that he won't make time to see his son. I mean, it would be absolutely churlish.
Why would you be so surprised by these stories saying that Charles would be too busy to see Harry? Every single time Harry has been in the UK since Charles has become king, he has pretended to be too busy to see Harry. The only time that has not been the case was when he was diagnosed. And even then, Harry flew to see him, and he only gave Harry, 30-45 minutes tops of his time. And that pattern has been so comically obvious that I believe the New Yorker wrote an article pointing that out. So, yeah.
And the relationship isn't what it was just a few months ago. I definitely think, even in recent weeks, I mean, Katie's right. Things have softened, definitely. It's a shame Meghan isn't going to come, and one may wonder whenever she will come again.
Are we surprised that Meghan's not going to be at the Invictus service, given how important this cause is to Harry?
No, I'm not surprised, because I think Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, knows that whether she's here or not, she's going to end up tabloid cannon fodder, and I think she just doesn't want a bar of it, doesn't want to be part of it, isn't interested, and wants the focus to be on Invictus and on celebrating 10 years and on Prince Harry on this occasion.
Can I just say, I'm not sure she would be, because I think that it's about Invictus, and when you look at when she did come back for the late Queen's funeral, even the Platinum Jubilee, there wasn't much made of the two of them being here, and I don't think that there were any daggers out for...
There was a little.
I think a lot of this is social media commentary. I can't see that the papers were out to get her. Certainly wasn't. There was no sort of circus in town when the Queen. When the Queen's funeral happened.
And that was another lie. Not only did we have royal reporters like Rebecca English blatantly lying and showing a photo of William and Kate, saying that Harry and Meghan viewed the floral tributes, but only William and Kate stayed to meet the public, even though the world was watching and seeing all four of them go on that walkabout. We saw the briefing storm between Kensington Palace and Clarence House. You have Kensington Palace briefing that Harry was left by the rest of the family as they made their way up. You have Clarence House, Charles, briefing about the uniform that Harry is not allowed to wear, or the insignia that was taken off of the uniform. I mean, the briefing and pettiness and cruelty was so bad that Maria Shriver talked about it on Twitter. Let's not forget the British media crucifying Harry and Meghan because Meghan was holding Harry's hand while he was emotionally grieving his grandmother. So, another lie.
They're heading off to Nigeria.
They are.
After the ceremony at St. Paul's. They've got this unofficial royal tour, effectively, isn't it?
Well, this is the thing, is it's not necessarily a royal tour. This is about Invictus Games. So they've been invited by the Nigerian military to meet Nigerian servicemen and servicewomen there. And they've got the hugest army on the continent of Africa, 230,000 people across the Nigerian military. They had a Nigerian team at Invictus Games last year, which were a huge hit. And so this is definitely more about Invictus than it being a royal tour. But yeah, they are going to embark on a number of quote-unquote cultural activities. But the mood music from Nigeria is that they are super excited about this visit, really honoured actually that Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, have accepted it. Because they're invited by the Nigerian military, it's going to be extremely, extremely secure.
Well, I was going to ask that because one of the questions I've been asked repeatedly this week is, you know, Harry's talked about it not being safe to bring his family back to the UK. If it's not safe to bring them back to the UK, why is it safe for them to go to Nigeria?
Ma'am, let's not be deliberately obtuse. The people who have been arrested for making threats have all been from the UK. Nowhere else. They're perfectly fine everywhere else but the UK. And people on your panel and a lot of your other royal commentators have contributed to creating that hostile environment. So it's really rich of you and others like you to pretend that you don't know why they would feel safe over there and not safe in Harry's home country.
But like we said, because this is organised by the Nigerian military, I think
so they'll be part of that whole government machine.
Yeah, and so they will be heavily, heavily protected on that trip.
I saw a video this morning where there was a British media news reporter that was asking why Meghan Markle was not coming. Why was Mother Markle not gracing them with her presence? Prime example here. Amanda told Meghan, stay away from Britain. You're not welcome. There are countless articles like this from Mother Markle. There are countless reporters going on national television basically saying they only want Daddy Sussex. Not her, not the children, just Daddy Sussex. So Mother Markle said, okay, I got you. I'm never coming back. And now, all of a sudden, British media have amnesia. They're confused. They're upset that Mother Markle is not coming. Why? Oh, how quickly we forget. No, not us. You forget, British media. You've belittled this woman. You've abused this woman mentally for 7+ years. And you continue to abuse her because you talk about her every day. And yet you wonder why she's not coming back to Saltine Island. I mean, should she and her children continue to be abused by you guys on a daily basis? Apparently, the entitlement that you guys have, the amnesia that you guys have, Mother Markle is matching you all's energy without uttering a word, and y'all can't stand it. Have a good day.
There was an article that I read that I found to be quite interesting, and it says Meghan Markle's time to shine on the world stage. In May, when Meghan visits Nigeria, she will remind the world of how skilled both she and her husband are at appearing relaxed and endearing during visits like these. And I suspect, when it happens, that will be at least one source of the anger that will undoubtedly follow. The acute reminder, not only of her superior skill set during tours like these, but her otherness too, specifically her blackness. And I have no doubt that those within the palace walls are going to be very bothered by Meghan's upcoming visit. Not only does it highlight how much of a loss that they have experienced because of the way that they chose to treat Meghan, and how much of a key part her ethnicity played in that. It's also going to highlight how truly embraced Meghan is by many of the Commonwealth nations, especially those that are predominantly black and brown. It's going to further highlight just how good she is at doing these sorts of engagements. Her and Harry individually have a charm and ease and warmth about them. Collectively, dynamite. I feel like a lot of us on social media saw that exchange between Tessa Dunlop and another tabloid writer, I believe he was, on GB News, where he was absolutely incensed at Meghan's decision to not come to the UK and not give them a wave, which he feels like they are entitled to, as if this woman is some sort of animal at the zoo that's there for your viewing pleasure. Yeah, we treated you like crap, made you feel like your life is not worth living. We have not stopped harassing you, even though you've left 4 years ago. But why don't you fly back and give us a wave? Cater to our needs. Insanity. Before we get to that, did you guys note the little footnote during that segment? A royal tour, Sussexes to travel to Nigeria to discover Meghan's roots. Even when GB News is attempting to pretend to be offering a nuanced conversation, Tessa is supposedly the one who is the voice of reason. Even when they're attempting to do that, they're still incapable of being honest. We have seen and read the entire briefing as it relates to why they're going to Nigeria, who invited them to Nigeria, and what they're going to be doing in Nigeria, and none of it included Meghan discovering her roots. This is the insidious nature of these sorts of programs. They center everything around Meghan, so then they can say that Meghan makes everything about Meghan.
Quite shared experience, Meghan, with her super stardust, which is why people like you are so peeved, because she turned her back on Britain. I understand we can sort out some counselling for you, Kelvin.
I'm peeved about her
you will
actions.
recover from this.
Why doesn't she come back? Why doesn't she come back to the UK and wave to us all?
Because she thinks people like Kelvin McKenzie are going to be all.
Well, I'm entitled to a view.
That's true, though,
and so
isn't it,
are you.
Jacob?
You're entitled to a view, but that shouldn't stop her coming out and giving her views to our country.
So Workshy Willie, who took, let me check, 26 days off in April, is able to go to a football match up the villa on the day of his daughter's birthday. 26 days off in April. It was his daughter's birthday yesterday. Yes, she would have been at school all day. With the travel time from wherever he is to where the match was, even if he went in a helicopter, he probably would have seen her for an hour after school. The press seemed to paint him, particularly when Kate was ill, as this amazing father who's very hands-on and he does loads of stuff with his children. All we get to see in the general public is crazy stuff like this, where he should be spending quality time with his daughter when his mum is very, very ill, allegedly. We really don't know what's going on there either, do we? But instead he chooses to spend his time, hours of his time, including travelling, going to a football match. It just doesn't add up. In my mind, I'm thinking, Catherine and the kids, Kate and the kids are in one place, he's in another. There's a terminal breakdown of communication and relationship. That's why these trolling photos keep coming out of the kids wearing the same clothes.
Meghan Markle has stolen from a Spencer, but it's not the one you think. The Duchess of Sussex is supporting the US charity Alliance of Mums by modelling their new t-shirt. For the photo shoot, Meghan reunited with her former Suits co-star and longtime friend Abigail Spencer. And even though the whole point of the shoot was to wear the t-shirt and dress the same, this isn't the first time Meghan's taken a note from Abigail Spencer's wardrobe. The whole video gushing about this gorgeous Heidi Merrick dress that Meghan wore to the Polo last week. I personally think it was perfect old Hollywood glam. But what we now know is that Abigail Spencer wore it first. Actress appears to be friends with the designer Heidi Merrick and was invited to her anniversary party. All appeared to take place outdoors, so Abigail took a very different approach and styled it with a denim jacket and some biker boots. When I was going through the archives of Meghan's polo outfits, I found that they also matched a couple years ago. Granted, they only have the polka dots in common, but they do look like two peas in a pod. However, Abigail has also stolen Meghan's style too. Earlier this year, Abigail posted a picture of her wearing a Victoria Beckham dress. I think this was for her character on Extended Family, but royal fans may notice that it looks a bit familiar. That's because it's the green version of the blue Victoria Beckham dress that Meghan wore for one of her last royal engagements. I also love how this became the picture of Megxit. I also felt that this 2019 picture was giving very similar energy to this airport photo of Meghan back in 2016. And this photo shoot also really reminded me of this iconic picture that was featured on the TIG. And because of all that, I just think it's so easy to see that these two have a very genuine friendship. On top of this, Abigail's style also provided some inspiration to another British royal. Abigail famously wore this Alessandra Rich dress to Harry and Meghan's wedding in 2018, which the Princess of Wales has since worn on numerous occasions. The charity supports young people who are in LA's foster care system, and such is the Meghan effect that the charity t-shirt is almost sold out in every size. Anyway, what do you guys think? Do you ever copy your friend's style? Do you love Abigail and Meghan's wardrobes? Will you be buying this charity t-shirt? Let's talk.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell.